Hello and welcome. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're joining us on NewsX. Our big focus this hour, Karnataka's push for global recognition of millets has got a big boost with the United Nations General Assembly adopting a resolution initiated by India and other countries to declare 2023 as the International Year of Millets. This could give an impetus to the state government to include millets in the midday meal for schools to combat malnutrition. MLA Krishna Bairagowda has made a case for its promotion both at the centre and in the state during his tenure as Agriculture Minister. His efforts led to the centre declaring 2018 as the National Year of Millets. And in fact, Mr. Krishna Bairagowda, Karnataka Congress MLA, is joining us live on the broadcast at this point. Mr. Gowda, welcome to NewsX. And firstly, sir, congratulations. Your push to get global recognition of millets has got a big boost with the UN declaring 2023 as the International Year of Millets and adopting a resolution. How important is this moment for India, sir?
I think it's probably the first time that India has sponsored an agricultural commodity to be around which an international year can be celebrated, and it has been adopted. So I will stand corrected if otherwise, but I think that it's the first time India has got this rare recognition, and it's a crop grown by mostly poor Indians in very arid conditions, so very struggling farmers. So for them and for India, I think it's a historic moment.
Okay, and can you please explain what the UN adopting this resolution in fact means, Mr. Gowda? What do we expect next? Also, what help will the farmers on ground get?
The adoption by UN of 2023 as the International Year of Millets means that worldwide now there is an opportunity to campaign for the adoption of millets in diets around the world, and for explaining the benefits of millets. So it actually means that India, which is a major producer of millets in the world, can use this structured format of UN and its various organizations and celebration of the International Year by governments around the world would be an excellent opportunity for us to canvass the benefits of millets and hence push Indian millets into the global market. So this will fetch phenomenal market opportunities for Indian farmers, and we will be able to export Indian millets. Currently, even after many decades of efforts, we are, when it comes down to agricultural commodities, our exports are mostly just basmati rice and a few spices. But here is an opportunity for us to massively expand the basket of exportable commodities. So it means a lot as well. Just to give you an example, today around the world in many countries, quinoa is sold as a healthy cereal, and most people are adopting quinoa. Quinoa is grown in very few countries around the world and mostly in Central and South America. But today quinoa has become a global commodity. So that all started with a particular year being celebrated as the International Year of Quinoa. So similarly, if millets are getting 2023 as the year of millets, International Year of Millets, it could mean, if we take advantage of this opportunity, it could mean that Indian millets and maybe a few other countries produce as well, but mostly Indian millets can enter many countries and become part of the diet of many billions of people around the world, and that would open enormous opportunities for our farmers.
And what was your idea behind promoting millets on the global stage, Mr. Gowda? What led you to do this?
To take a few steps back and start from the beginning, we started this campaign in Karnataka around 2014 or so. we realized that millets offer enormous benefits. Firstly, to consumers whose diet is now saturated with white rice and maida, which is actually not good for our health, and this is causing a lot of lifestyle-based diseases like diabetes and heart ailments and so on and so forth. Millets offer a healthy diet alternative, and incorporating millets can reduce not only lifestyle-based diseases, but they are a good source of nutrients as well. One side, they are good for the consumer. Number two, they are good for the farmer as well, because world is experiencing climate change, and parts of India are likely to suffer longer, prolonged droughts. And millets are a drought-resistant, drought-tolerant crop that can be grown by many small and marginal farmers in very arid conditions. If there is a crop that is standing last during a drought, that will be millets. And millets require very little expenditure compared to many other commercial crops. The pesticide spray is almost zero. The chemical fertilizer requirement is very low. So compared to many other crops, the cost of cultivating millets is very low. So hence the risk for the farmer is very low. Also, millets produce phenomenally high quality fodder, which is very much required for the dairy farming industry. So millets offer a bundle of benefits to the farmers as well. And the other not adequately appreciated benefit is the environmental one. As climate is changing, as water is becoming scarce, as droughts become more frequent, and as we need to reduce the environmental footprint of any particular crop, millets fit in very well into the climate change scenario, and they offer enormous environmental benefits as well. So millets are good for the consumer, they are good for the farmer, they are good for the environment. So, however, merely asking Indian farmers to grow, or Karnataka farmers to grow millets, was not going to cut it, because we quickly realized when we started this campaign that we need to bring awareness among consumers and hence create demand for millets. When there is market pull, Indian farmers immediately respond to the market pulls. So when there is market demand, Indian farmers will grow them. So instead of preaching to farmers to grow millets, we shifted our campaign towards the consumers and started raising awareness about them. And gradually, the consumer demand started picking for millets. And hence, Indian farmers, or Karnataka farmers, also started growing these millets.
You know, you've of course led the example with expanding the markets for millets as well. Where do you think similar opportunities lie, Mr. Gowda?
Definitely, when it comes to India, pulses, we are a major producer and consumer of pulses, and pulses need to be promoted, and greater amount of pulses need to be accommodated into our diet. However, already the International Year of Pulses was held some years ago. But nevertheless, if there is one set of food that needs to be increasingly adopted into our diets, I believe pulses are the one. India has a large number of vegetarians, and for them, nutrition is often a concern. So pulses are rich in protein, and of course many other health and nutrient benefits are available. So I think similar efforts should be made by Government of India to at least popularize pulses within India. We need to have greater share of pulses in our diet, and definitely that's one where we can make a start. And of course, there are many other vegetables and fruits which should become a larger part of our diet. It's not enough, and they would be second in line.
And what role can we as the media, Mr. Gowda, play so that this glorious opportunities reach not just to Indians, but in fact the world over, and also, of course, our farmers too?
I think popular media can perhaps be more influential than government agencies in bringing about a change. Government agencies can produce the relevant material about the benefits of millets, be it to consumers or farmers. But ultimately, if it has to, that awareness has to reach the consumers or the general public, it has to be through the popular media. Now, most media houses host talks and shows on nutrition, on health, on cooking, and through the news coverage also a certain portion of it is dedicated to food and health. So under all these categories, I think the benefits of millets can be highlighted. Again, I repeat, benefits to consumers and their health, benefits to farmers, how it can really come to the rescue of struggling farmers, and how millets can also enormously benefit the environment which is otherwise under stress. So this message can very effectively be delivered by the media, I believe, and not just national media, international media as well. So ultimately, if this campaign has to succeed, media has to put its weight behind the benefits of millets and gear up to the International Year of Millets. I think this is a rare opportunity for India. It's an honor for India that a food commodity. It's actually in Karnataka all these years it was considered as the poor man's food. But what has happened once this diabetes and other lifestyle-based diseases took over, now millets have come in as the saviors of the rich. So what was earlier a poor man's food has now become the savior of the rich. And this sort of a message, I think, can be spread far and wide by the media, and they can play a very effective role in this campaign. And we need to build this campaign at a national level and also at the international level. And through this, India can also earn enormous revenue by exporting Indian millets to many other countries in the world. We are the largest producer of millets, so we are the ones who are best placed to harness the opportunities that will be created, meaning the demand that will be created through an International Year of Millets. So we can expand our exports as well using this opportunity. So I see all-round benefits, and it's a great honor for our country that a resolution that we sponsored, particularly around a poor man's food, has now gained international reputation and international acceptance. And so it's an honor and it's a great opportunity. We must, including the media, we must all see how we can best harvest this opportunity.
And Mr. Gowda, how do we avoid motivated campaigns as well, by other countries obviously impacted, that impact our push to globalize millets in the manner that we do so?
We need to be aware that when commercial interests are involved, there may be counter currents as well. But at the moment, as far as millets are concerned, such chances are limited. But nevertheless, I think we need to keep our scientific institutions in the forefront to be able to answer any criticism or any such negative campaign that may be thrown at us. So I believe as a coalition for this campaign is built, it is very important that research institutions are a big part of such a coalition so that we can overcome any negative campaigns and also we have enough credibility for this campaign. So it's very important to involve appropriate research institutions in this campaign.
Well, we'll also have to say, sir, congratulations again. We at NewsX, of course, are completely with you in this and also offer whatever help we can to help you achieve your goals.
No, thank you. I thank NewsX so much for taking interest in a very peasant farmer's food or a peasant farmer's crop. This campaign started in Karnataka. It went national and now it is going international. And a small suggestion we made in 2017-18 to Government of India to propose for an international year of millets has actually happened, and it is an unbelievable but a very true story, and it's an inspiring story for all of us. And I hope ultimately this will open a lot of opportunities for that very struggling Indian peasant farmer.
Well, Krishna Bairegowda, Congress MLA from Karnataka, thank you very much indeed for joining us on NewsX with your perspective on this story. We also have now Ambassador Suresh Kumar Goel, former diplomat, joining us live. Professor Yamini Agarwal, economist, is also with us on the broadcast. Taranjeet Singh Bhamra, CEO and founder Agnext, will also be joining us shortly. Ambassador Goel, let me in fact quickly begin with you first. How do you view this this big push now by India, which has obviously led to this result? The UN, of course, declaring 2023 as the year of the millet.
Well, it's a matter of some, I would say, satisfaction and happiness that 2023 has been declared as the International Year of Millets. From what I understand, this is a recognition of importance of millets in the nutritional chain for people or globally. I think we need to wait and watch how or what kind of economic benefits it brings for the Indian economy and the agricultural economy. There are possibilities, but we need to wait and watch. From my experience in the United Nations when I was there and in the diplomatic services, most of these recognitions through international days are kind of a recognition of the importance and go beyond that only when national governments develop plans to celebrate them or to emphasize the centrality of the particular thing that is being recognized. So we have to wait and see how it evolves really. But it is a matter of great happiness that millets, which has been an important part of the Indian agro-economy, has been recognized as such.
And interestingly, Professor Yamini, it comes at a time when, of course, we've been talking about our farmers and our agriculture sector. This is a big win for India and our agriculture sector, isn't it?
Well, yes, it is, because 41% of the global consumption comes from India, and there are a large number of states which are producing it. And given its recognition as a health cereal and to cure a large number of chronic diseases, a recognition from an international agency with respect to the group is itself a very big recognition to put it onto the health or the nutritional value or the overall value of millets itself.
Okay, and at the end of the day, of course, Ambassador Suresh Kumar Goel, it follows many other soft power pushes by India, doesn't it? From yoga to, of course, Ayurveda to Bollywood. These are all soft power pushes by India, and now, of course, the millet as well.
Yes, in that sense, it develops a brand India. It develops what India stands for. Like you said, yoga, etc., is part of the soft power that India now pushes for. And I think that's the reason I do think that it's a matter to celebrate and rejoice in. I do underline, however, once again, that it would be much more useful if this leads to a greater push for contributions made by millets in the Indian agro-economy. The farmers many of the marginal farmers, they depend upon millets for their livelihoods, for their agricultural income. I know that millets today has become a very exotic food item in the high value food chain. I do not know how much of it really goes down to the farmer who produces the millets, because most of it really goes into the packaging industry and the marketing, etc. I would therefore say that having had the experience of these recognitions internationally, matter to be happy about, celebrate, rejoice, but it also underlines greater need to make sure that the farmers benefit from this.
All right. Let's leave it at that. My thanks to all of our guests for joining us on this special show. On that note, a quick break.